91 point...
90.1 FM.
91 point...
No, 90.1.
90.1 FM.
You got it.
Yeah? I'd have to say all that at once.
This is the Carnival Band.
This is the Carnival Band. You are listening to... CJSF 90.1 FM, the Carnival Band.
Broadcasting live from Burnaby, BC, Canada.
You're listening to CJSF 90.1 FM online at www.cjsf.ca. We're broadcasting from Burnaby, British Columbia at Simon Fraser University. This is KPW with This Week in BC Minor League Sports. And during this half-hour program today, we'll recap some great sports action from around the province. Now, if you're new to this program, no, we don't talk about Major League Sports or the NHL. I know the hockey playoffs have started and the Major League Baseball season has also begun. But here on CJSF, we focus on amateur and also minor league action, sports that don't get much coverage elsewhere on mainstream media. So no NHL, no MLB, but lots to get to, so I'll get right to it. Let's start first on the diamond. The baseball season in BC is here, and the 2014 British Columbia Premier Baseball League, which is a competitive youth baseball league, opened last Friday night, April the 11th, at Abbotsford's Delair Park, with the Abbotsford Cardinals defeating the visiting Langley Blaze by a score of 8-4. Now, some information about the Premier Baseball League, or the PBL. It started in 1995 on Vancouver Island when 5 teams formed the Island Premier Baseball League. And soon enough, they started to expand. And from that point on, elite baseball has continued to grow in this province. Now in 2014, under the umbrella of the Premier Baseball Association, there are now 3 divisions and 30 teams. Now, the BC Premier Baseball League, also known as the BC PBL, consists of 13 teams, including the Abbotsford Cardinals and the Langley Blaze, and all players are under the age of 18. Now, another one of the divisions is the Canadian College Baseball Conference, also known as the CCBC, which is a college league consisting of 5 teams. Now, the CCBC has teams from Vancouver Island Baseball Institute in Nanaimo, Thompson River University in Kamloops, the Prairie Baseball Academy in Lethbridge, Alberta, the University of Calgary, and Okanagan College in Kelowna. Now, back to the BC Premier Baseball League, there are teams in Parksville, Nanaimo, Victoria, North Shore, Coquitlam, North Delta, Fraser Valley / Wally, White Rock, Langley, Abbotsford, Okanagan, as well as Vancouver. There are actually 2 teams in Victoria, with the Victoria Eagles, the league champions in 2013. Now, as mentioned, the league started last Friday with the Abbotsford Cardinals prevailing over the Langley Blaze. Now, Langley first baseman Dakota Curry hit the season's first home run, that coming in the 6th inning. Abbotsford starting pitcher Alex Gibbons got the victory, allowing 3 runs over 5 innings of work. Now, Langley led 1-0 before Abbotsford scored 3 times in the 3rd inning and 5 more in the 4th to put the game out of reach. Center fielder Jesse Braun had 2 hits, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored for the Cardinals. Now, on Saturday, the defending league champion Victoria Eagles opened their season with a doubleheader sweep against the Parksville Royals at Lambrick Park in Victoria. Now, in the opening game, Victoria rallied from a 6-2 deficit to win 9-6, scoring 6 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Sam Stevenson went 2 for 4 for the Eagles, including a double. Now, in Game 2 of the doubleheader, Victoria had a 2nd straight come-from-behind victory, beating Parksville 8-7 with 3 runs in the 6th inning. Carson Waters' bloop single to right field scored Tyler Duncan and provided what proved to be the winning run for Victoria. In other BC Premier Baseball League action, the Wally Chiefs, I should say, hosted the Vancouver Cannons in a doubleheader on Saturday as well at the Wally Athletic Park in Surrey. Vancouver jumped out to a 3-0 lead with 3 runs in the top of the second inning in the first game. Sam Mitchell reached base on an error and came around to score on a double by Preston Kokotalo, who then scored on a sacrifice fly, and Braden Rystad stole home later in the same inning, so it was 3-0 for the Vancouver Cannons. The Chiefs scored a run in the fourth inning to cut the deficit to 3-1, and then tied the game in the sixth inning with a couple of runs. Now, in the bottom half of the seventh inning, with the score still tied 3-3, Wally got the winning run on 3 straight singles to make the final score 4-3. Travis Leclerc got the game-winning hit for the Wally Chiefs. Now, we should note that all teams play 7-inning games, so it was a dramatic ending there at the end. Andrew Calligari pitched 3 no-hit innings with a walk to pick up the victory. Catcher Colton Wright and right fielder Jordan Deshane each had 2 hits and a run scored for the Wally Chiefs. So a heartbreaking loss for Vancouver in the first game of the doubleheader. The Cannons came back in the second game on Saturday with a 4-2 win in 10 innings. Now, Vancouver trailed 2-1 in the fifth inning, but then tied the game on a triple and an error. In the top half of the 10th inning, Preston Kokotalo drove in the go-ahead run with a double. He actually had double duty in this game because he is a DH as well as the relief pitcher in this second contest. Now, Kokotalo pitched the final 5 innings in the second game, including the bottom half of the 10th inning, to preserve the lead. And for the game, he allowed no hits with 7 strikeouts in those 5 innings of work. So he picked up the victory and also the game-winning hit as Vancouver splits his doubleheader with Wally. Another pair of teams that split a doubleheader on Saturday afternoon were White Rock and Okanagan at Elsk Stadium in Kelowna. In the first game, Okanagan won 6-5, scoring the tying run in the bottom half of the 7th inning and then winning it in the bottom of the 8th on Jarrett Young's game-winning single with the bases loaded. In Game 2, it was another high-scoring affair, but this time it was a White Rock winning by a score of 10-8. Now, Okanagan scored 6 runs in the third inning, but White Rock had 3 in the second, 3 more in the third inning, and 3 in the fourth to pull out the victory. Jarrett Young had 2 more hits, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs in a losing effort for Okanagan. Now, for more scores and updates from the Premier Baseball League, go to www.bcpbl.com. That's www.bcpbl.com. And as mentioned, they just started the season just last week. Meanwhile, in the CCBC, or the Canadian College Baseball Conference, the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs, who are the 3-time defending champions of the CCBC, split a doubleheader with the University of Calgary Dinos on Friday, April the 11th. It was a rematch of last year's championship final, when the Dogs came from behind to beat the Dinos 6-5 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Now, on Friday, Prairie Baseball Academy won the first game by a score of 9-6, scoring 7 runs in the second inning to jump out to a 9-0 lead. Catcher Trevor Sakech had 2 hits and 3 runs batted in for the Dogs. Now, the University of Calgary then won the second game of the doubleheader by a final score of 7-5. Now, it was a seesaw affair, with Prairie Baseball Academy scoring 4 times in the 7th inning to get on the scoreboard, but the University of Calgary struck for 3 runs in the 9th to win the game. Now, center fielder Miles Hunter had 3 hits for the Dinos. Now, even with the loss in the second game, Prairie Baseball Academy still sits atop the CCBC standings with an 8-4 record after its first 12 games of the season. So that's 8 wins and 4 losses, leading the conference. Now, the University of Calgary improved to 6-7, so a record of 6 wins and 7 losses with the doubleheader split. Now, on Saturday in Canadian College Baseball Conference action, the Okanagan College Coyotes and the Vancouver Island Baseball Institute Mariners split their doubleheader. Now, the Coyotes won the first game by a score of 5-3, capitalizing on 4 errors by the Mariners. So they definitely were able to get some help, if you will, from Vancouver Island Baseball Institute. 2 of Okanagan College's runs came directly as a result of errors. One more came on a wild pitch, and another one crossed home plate on a pass ball by the catcher. Okanagan College right fielder Brandon Graham had 2 hits, an RBI, and the run scored. Vancouver Island Baseball Institute took the second game by a score of 6-0, scoring all 6 of their runs in the 6th inning. The Coyotes got just 2 hits in the entire game, with Mariners pitcher John Kaluzniak pitching 6 innings of 1-hit baseball in that one. And center fielder Chad Schwartz went 3 for 3 for the Mariners, driving in the first run of the game in the 6th inning. Now, for more information and schedules and standings regarding the CCBC, the Canadian College Baseball Conference, you can go to cc-bc.ca. Once again, the website is cc-bc.ca. Time now for some public service announcements, and then we'll be back with This Week in BC Minor League Sports right here on CJSF 90.1 FM.
Are you in a committed relationship? Have you been living with your partner for at least 1 year? If so, you may be eligible to participate in the Couples Communication Study at Simon Fraser University. Unmarried couples will be paid up to $125 for their participation in 1 lab session at SFU and 4 online surveys completed over 1 year. To learn more, please call 778-782-7155 or email couples@sfu.ca.
On Sunday, April 27th at the Downtown Vancouver Public Library, and again on Monday, April 28th at the Richmond Public Library, join Professor Pei Tu in Author Talk, Chinese Comfort Women. In partnership with BC Alpha, which is the Association for Learning and Preserving the History of World War II in Asia, Professor Pei Tu, author of the new book, Chinese Comfort Women, Testimonies from Imperial Japan's Sex Slaves, will explain how the comfort women issue relates to the political tensions in the Asia-Pacific and the connections between the Korean comfort women redress movement and similar movements in China. Registration is required for this event, again, which will be happening on Sunday, April 27th in the Downtown Vancouver Public Library, and again on Monday, April 28th at the Richmond Public Library. The event will be held in both English and Mandarin as free admission for both dates. Seating is limited, so you do need to register. For the Sunday, April 27th date, it's from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the Alice McKay Room at the Vancouver Public Library at 350 West Georgia Street. And again, that's at the Downtown Library at 350 West Georgia. And then on Monday, April the 28th, this is at the Richmond Public Library at 7700 Minute Road Gate in Richmond. This will be held in the Performance Hall in the library, and this will be from 7 to 9 p.m. So it's 7 to 9 p.m. from Monday, April 28th. So a 2-hour event. Again, registration is required, so you can go to the Vancouver Public Library website or the Richmond Public Library website to register. Again, the event will be held in both English and Mandarin. Now, if you're looking for a job and you're not sure how to get started, the Richmond Public Library is holding a few events that can help you, or a few workshops, I should say. On Tuesday, April 29th at 7 p.m. at the Brick House branch, there's an introduction to LinkedIn, which is a 1.5-hour workshop where you can learn about LinkedIn from a human resources professional. Of course, LinkedIn is used by over 225 million people in over 20 countries, and you can learn why so many people are using this valuable tool. Topics covered include how to showcase your skills, experience, and work samples, how to connect with others and search for jobs. The presenter has been an adult educator for over 12 years. She's from Right Design Communications Inc., and her name is Wendy Hollingshead. She has developed and taught several LinkedIn workshops and currently manages a LinkedIn group. And she's also been actively involved with the HR community over the years and has achieved her Canadian Human Resources Professional, which is the CHRP designation. Registration is required for this workshop. Again, that's happening on Tuesday, April 29th at 7 p.m. at the Brighouse branch of the Richmond Public Library. Also, in May, there's a few workshops happening on the topic of literacy for job success. It's a 2-hour workshop, and it's being organized by Kwantlen Polytech University tutors. They will help you to identify your job interests and the skills needed to improve your employment choices. Participants must have intermediate level speaking and listening English skills, and registration is required for this. The next session is happening on Wednesday, May the 7th at 12:30 p.m. This is also at the Brighouse branch of the Vancouver Public Library. They also have one session every Wednesday from May through to June. So again, you can check out the Richmond Public Library website for more information on this particular workshop. Now speaking of LinkedIn, a lot of people are on it. I'm on it as well, but I would think that probably not a lot of people know how to use it properly in terms of like the do's and don'ts of having your LinkedIn profile, what to do on it and what not to. It's interesting because even I'm not familiar with exactly how it works, because with all these social media platforms out there, with Facebook, with Twitter and LinkedIn, each one of them has its own different use. Because let's say if you're trying to contact somebody that you don't personally know from a specific industry, I've been told that you don't want to use Facebook because Facebook is more personal. It's only like kind of like reserved for friends only. But if you want to contact somebody you don't know in a particular industry, you can try and contact them through LinkedIn, which is kind of I guess one of the unwritten rules of social media platforms. I think Twitter, I've heard as well, is something that you could use, but it's a little bit more casual, and there is a word limit on Twitter. It's more suitable for short questions and answers. So a lot of different I guess social media platforms out there these days, and with LinkedIn being one of them. A lot of people do have a LinkedIn account or profile, but maybe they don't know how to use it, or they don't know how to maximize the benefit of having a LinkedIn account. So probably if you're interested in that kind of thing, learning how to use LinkedIn, for your own advantage professionally, definitely do check out the workshop given by the HR professional at the Richmond Public Library. And again, even for myself, I use LinkedIn, but I don't know exactly like all the tricks, if you will, of that particular I guess you call it a social media platform. That's what I've been calling it for the last couple of minutes here. So definitely something to check out for sure. So again, all information can be found on the Richmond Public Library website. So good luck if you are job searching or trying to get in contact with people from from specific industries if you're looking for a job. And hey, maybe for an interesting project after this show, maybe what I'll do is I will log into my LinkedIn account and maybe play around with it, try and make it better, or make it more attractive, whatnot. I guess actually, now that I think about it, it's a lot of cool little tricks that the experts tell you to do, and probably these are some of the things that the HR professional will mention during the workshop at the Richmond Library. But I've heard of people saying, you should do things like using keywords instead of trying to I guess what I'm trying to say is to keep your language short and simple, using some keywords instead of trying to showcase how extensive your vocabulary is. Because I remember reading one time, because I'm a writer in my spare time, and I remember someone telling me, or maybe reading about it, that recruiters will search for simple words such as writer, but they're not going to look for something like passionate and clever wordsmith. So if you put that on your LinkedIn profile, quote unquote, passionate and clever wordsmith, that actually may not come up in a search when potential recruiters or employers are looking for candidates for a job, because they're probably going to just search for the simple word writer and see what comes up. So for your LinkedIn profile, you should not use it to demonstrate how good your vocabulary is, but just to keep it short and simple. I think as well, what you can do, actually, if I remember this correctly, you can try and test whether you're attracting the right people to your profile, because you can look at a little statistic called who's viewed your profile on your LinkedIn account. You can check the listing of the keywords that people use to arrive at your profile, and see if you're using the right keywords when you're doing, or when you're trying to perfect your profile on LinkedIn, because if you don't like what you see in the statistics as far as the people that come to view your profile, you could change the way you describe yourself so that you can attract a different different type of I guess a different type of viewers or visitors to your profile. So that's something kind of to think about. I think also what I remember is people tell you should add add an updated profile picture. What was the last time I was on LinkedIn? I don't think I have a picture on there. If I do, it's probably an old one. But people recommend, or experts recommend, that you should have an updated profile picture, just so that again, this is all to do with statistics, but according to LinkedIn, if I remember correctly from reading this information a while back, adding a profile picture maybe makes your profile 7 times more likely to be seen by others. So if you want to be seen by other people, definitely put a picture on there. If you want to stay anonymous, I'm not sure why you would. If you're on LinkedIn, then if you want to be anonymous, then obviously don't put a picture. But if you don't feel comfortable, but if you want to attract viewers to your profile, then suggested that you put a picture on there, so that people can see what you are, or see who you are, and it helps with your professional opportunities as well. Because if they're looking for a job, that's what can get the right people to view your profile. I think with LinkedIn, you can have all kinds of little features like generating a resume or applying for a job, even with your mobile phone. So especially with the app that they have. So lots of cool things you can do with LinkedIn. But again, the workshop is happening at the Richmond Public Library. So if you're interested, you can check out the library's website for more information and sign up. It's free, so hey, what do you have to lose? You can go in and learn some new things from a professional HR person on that. And finally, a parenting workshop happening on Wednesday, April the 30th at the Brick House branch. It's called A Family Checkup, Communication, Boundaries, and Substances. In this 2-hour workshop, learn about what impact substance use has on families and gain a better understanding of the importance of personal and parental boundaries. Additional information will be shared on how parents can create dialogue and open up conversation in an effort to avoid conflict between themselves and their children. Again, this is a 2-hour workshop. It's happening on Wednesday, April the 30th at 7 p.m. at the Brick House branch of the Richmond Public Library. Registration is required, so again, you can go to their website for more details. Now back to this week in BC minor league sports. Turning to collegiate sports action, last week the UBC Thunderbirds baseball team split a 4-game series with the Corbin Warriors at Salem Oregon. Now on Friday, UBC lost the opening game 8-3 before winning the second contest by a score of 5-0. In Game 1 on Friday, UBC didn't get its first hit until the 7th inning. Then in the second game, UBC's Connor Lillis-White pitched his third complete game shutout of the year to salvage the split for the Thunderbirds. Now Lillis-White entered the game with the second best earned run average in the entire National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics with his 0.77 ERA. So that's less than 1 run per 9 innings that he's given up. On Friday, he gave up just 3 hits and a walk with 7 strikeouts and improved his season record to 6 wins and no losses. Lillis-White needed to be stingy on the mound as UBC led just 1-0 heading into the 8th inning. Catcher Cam Firth hit a 2-run double in the 8th to give UBC some insurance runs. Then on Saturday, the Thunderbirds and the Warriors again split their doubleheader. UBC lost Game 1 on Saturday by a score of 2-1 in 15 innings before rebounding to win 3-1 in the second game to earn a split. Now, in the opening game on Saturday, UBC trailed 1-0 until the 5th inning when left fielder Tyler Enns doubled and first baseman Bruce Yari brought him home with an RBI single. Now, neither team would score a run again until the 15th inning when the Warriors loaded the bases on a single, a walk, and a UBC error and won it on a hit by pitch to force in the game-winning run. In Game 2 on Saturday, Sean Caligari pitched a complete game for UBC, allowing just 1 run on 7 hits and a walk. Down 1-0, UBC tied the game in the 4th inning on a sacrifice fly by third baseman Kevin Biro. In the 5th inning, they went ahead when left fielder Sebastian Wong singled, advanced on an error, and came home on a ground out. UBC added an insurance run in the 9th inning for the 3-1 victory. Now, the doubleheader split gave UBC a record of 25 wins and 11 losses, including a record of 16 wins and 8 losses in the conference. And turning to SFU softball action, the Simon Fraser University Clan were swept in a doubleheader at home by the Central Washington Wildcats last Wednesday, April the 9th. So again, SFU struggles this season. They lost Game 1 by a score of 3-0, despite a solid effort by starting pitcher Jessica Goulet, who pitched 7 innings and gave up just 1 earned run. The turning point came very early in the first inning when SFU made a pair of errors that scored the winning and insurance runs for the Wildcats, who added their 3rd one in the 6th inning. SFU, meanwhile, was held to just 2 hits, both coming with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Maria Gao, who pitched all 7 innings for Central Washington University, got the victory to improve her record to 11 wins and 6 losses. Jessica Goulet, meanwhile, got tagged with her 15th loss of the season, so a hard luck loss for Goulet. Then in Game 2, Jessica Goulet again was the SFU starting pitcher, and she went 6 innings, allowing all 5 runs on 9 hits. Alex Balak, the sophomore first baseman for SFU, hit 2 home runs, a solo shot in the 4th inning, and then a 2-run blast in the bottom of the 6th inning that gave the Clan a temporary 4-3 lead. That lead, I said, was temporary because it was really short-lived, because the Wildcats came right back in the top half of the 7th inning with 1 out and the bases loaded. Andrea Hamada hit a single off the right field wall to score 2 runs to give Central Washington University a 5-4 advantage. The SFU Clan put 2 runners on base in the bottom half of the 7th inning, but could not get the tying run home, and SFU lost the heartbreaker by the final score of 5-4. Kiana Wood pitched all 7 innings for Central Washington to get the victory, improving her record to 8 wins and 2 losses on the season. Jessica Goulet, as mentioned, started the second game as well. She dropped her record to 3 wins and 16 losses on the season. And in SFU lacrosse action last Sunday, the SFU Clan lost to the University of Texas Longhorns by a score of 11-4 in Oregon in a neutral site game. For scores and information about SFU teams, you can go to athletics.sfu.ca. Again, that's athletics.sfu.ca. Now, that's going to do it for this week's program. We'll talk to you again next week, and we'll recap more sports action right here on CJSF 90.1 FM.
Don't miss the career opportunity of a lifetime. Apply today to the National Aboriginal Recruitment Fair at Inclusion Works 14, taking place in Vancouver, April 29th to May 1st, 2014. Selected grads are guaranteed an interview and will receive a free trip to Vancouver, including airfare and hotel. Apply today at aboriginalhr.ca/IW14grad.
You're listening to CJSF FM
CJSF.
CJSF.